Russia has deployed 11,000 North Korean soldiers to the Kursk region. The small town of Dixville Notch kicked off U.S. election day with its traditional midnight vote. What was their result?
I don't pledge allegiance to the president. I pledge allegiance to the flag.
By the end of this year, Ukraine will receive the first NASAMS air defense system ordered for Kyiv by Canada. Hi, I'm Iva Kucherenko. This is United 24 Media. 6 people were killed and 24 were injured in Zaporizhzhia. Russian forces attacked the city around 10 a.m., reported the head of the regional military administration Ivan Fedorov. Full details of the strike are unknown. However, Fedorov stated that an infrastructure facility was targeted, causing a fire to break out at the site. 13 of the wounded were taken to hospital.
5 patients were hospitalized, a 62-year-old woman and 4 men. 2 of the men are currently in surgery. 6 patients refused to be hospitalized. 2 patients are undergoing additional examinations.
There are already 11,000 North Korean troops in the Kursk region near the border with Ukraine. This was stated by President Zelensky in his evening address on November 4.
Today there was also a separate report from the Defense Intelligence of Ukraine and the Foreign Intelligence Service on the North Korean troops in the territory of Russia. There are already 11,000 of them in the Kursk region. We are seeing an increase in North Koreans, but unfortunately not an increase in our partners' response.
Zelensky also brought attention to the increase in aerial attacks from Russian forces. After a cabinet meeting, he stated that Moscow is using approximately 10 times more Shahed drones in its attacks on Ukraine compared to the previous fall. He stressed the importance of developing measures to counter these strikes, such as increasing mobile defense units, the downing of Shaheds with drones, and an overall increase in the air defense capabilities of Ukrainian forces. To follow the latest news on Ukraine, subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave a comment down below. The United States kicked off election day as the residents of Dixville Notch, a small town in New Hampshire, cast the nation's first votes at midnight, a long-standing tradition that started back in 1960. This year's votes in Dixville Notch resulted in a tie between Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump, with each receiving 3 votes.
I think New Hampshire's a purple state, and I think it's very divided, and I think even the 6 of us might be divided. We'll see.
Previously, it was reported by Axios that more than 75 million American citizens already cast their ballots as of Sunday. Harris and Trump wrapped up their campaigns urging supporters to turn out for what may be one of the closest presidential elections in modern history.
So, as an American, I pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the Bill of Rights, to the Constitution, to the laws of our country. I don't pledge allegiance to the president.
Meanwhile, the U.S. spy agency issued a statement on Monday warning that Russia is conducting influence operations to undermine the integrity of elections and stoke division among Americans. Regardless of the U.S. presidential election results, Ukraine will not relinquish its territories, stated President Zelensky last week. During an interview with the Korean broadcasting system, he underlined that Ukraine will not recognize its occupied territories as Russian, no matter who will win in the United States and no matter how long Putin remains the Russian leader.
The new president of the United States can either strengthen support for Ukraine or weaken it. Weakening support for Ukraine will allow Russia to occupy us more. Weakening support for Ukraine will not allow us to win this war. And this is the truth. And so we're not talking about compromises of territories. We're saying that there may be certain diplomatic ways, but they depend on the policy of the United States of America. If it does not weaken, the desire of the US will be to really end the war quickly.
While Russia's war in Ukraine could end in numerous ways, including through diplomacy, no solution can begin from the borders of February 24, 2022, as this could create a risk of renewed Russian aggression. This was stated by the head of the office of the President of Ukraine, Yermak.
This war can end through different means. One of these is a diplomatic path. But that path cannot start from the February 24, 2022 line. That would be unfair, it would be wrong, and it would not align with international law. And unfortunately, it would only set the stage for this threat to happen again.
Yermak added that Ukraine must reclaim all its territories and citizens and noted that multiple approaches can be considered to achieve this goal. He also stated that Ukraine is not currently conducting any direct negotiations with the Russian Federation. There can be conferences with mediating countries, but not negotiations. The Ukrainian military has concluded the 4th round of training on the operation of Patriot air defense missile systems in Germany. The sessions began in mid-August this year. This was announced by the press service of the German Luftwaffe on November 5th. As a result, Ukrainian soldiers are able to independently operate the system, allowing them to down Russian drones, cruise missiles, planes, and other airborne weapons. The Patriots have been handed over to the Air Force of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, forming part of the military support provided by Germany and other Western countries. The first system was delivered from Germany in April 2023, after the first training sessions were completed. By the end of this year, Ukraine will receive the first NASAMS air defense systems ordered for Kyiv by Canada. This was reported by President Zelensky after a phone call with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Canada first announced the intention to transfer the system to Ukraine back in January 2023. NASAMS, costing more than $300 million per unit, is a Norwegian anti-aircraft missile system with a medium and long-range American radar that can shoot down aircraft, helicopters, and cruise missiles. The US has announced a $425 million security assistance package for Ukraine. The Department of Defense stated that the aid is to address Ukraine's urgent security and defense requirements. The package includes munitions for NASAMS, Stinger missiles, ammunition for HIMARS, Javelin, and AT-4 anti-armor systems, artillery shells, and medical supplies. According to the statement, this is the Biden administration's 69th tranche of equipment to be provided from the Pentagon's inventories to Ukraine since August 2021. Ukrainian FPV pilots fought their way through a Russian encirclement in the Kursk region. The Horn Group Regiment posted footage on November 3rd illustrating the predicament the Ukrainian pilots got themselves into because of a scouting miscalculation. The FPV pilots had plenty of ammunition with them to fight off the Russian forces for a 4-hour period, until their infantry broke the encirclement and rescued the operators, along with a stray dog.
We saved the doggy, who ran away as if telling us to hell with Russians, jumping in our car without a command. Good boy.
That's it for today. We're United 24 Media. Thank you for being with us and see you tomorrow.